New York City.
Have you ever thought of maybe turning tables on the trend? Because, like, you've pretty much been shut out by a lot of the major markets due to narrowcasting. Everything's all talk. You have these narrowly defined rock formats, music formats, news formats, and cable TV has certainly done that. So we have an all-cartoon channel now. We have several all-cartoon channels on cable TV now. We have an all-comedy TV channel. So maybe it's time for an all-novelty record radio station?
Well, perhaps. I'll certainly entertain offers from any people with their free-floating capital that they like to invest in that new idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yes.
If there are any venture capitalists out there who would like to take a flyer on entertaining people on cable or on the internet in a new way, here I am!
Wow, so I know, but I'm glad that you're keeping up, you're keeping this genre alive, and you're helping to propagate it. You probably, how many new recordings do you get every year?
Well, let's see. I know we get about 15 or 20 every week, so that would be certainly close to 1,000 a year. Mostly CDs nowadays, CDRs, now that anybody can burn a CDR on their computer. So we get lots of those homemade recordings. And we still get a few cassette tapes, and once in a great while we'll still get something on vinyl. So there's 15 or 20 things a week, ranging from full album-length things to just one or two songs on a CDR, and I listen to them and play the best ones on the show. We usually introduce 4 or 5 brand new songs on the show every week.
How easy is it to break into stardom on this? I mean, Weird Al, have you had anybody new since Weird Al?
We've had lots of new people since Weird Al. Nobody who has, shall we say, crossed over in the same way that he has, but it took him 25 years to get where he is now.
Yes, and he started off in his college restroom.
Yeah, actually, even before that, when he was still in high school, Al started sending me tapes recorded at home in his bedroom, and starting in 1976, 25 years ago this summer, I first played Alfred Yankovic, as he was then known, on my radio show, and his stuff just kept getting better. And 1979 was the year of the college bathroom recording you're referring to, My Bologna, which was the first thing of his that ever got nationally released and started getting some play outside of my show.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And I remember, because again, back in 1987, I was in the audience at the bottom line. I didn't quite look like this.
Well, by that time, Al was a star. He'd had several albums under his belt, won a Grammy, and so he was a star by that time.
And I remember Benny Bell. He's not with us anymore, Benny Bell, is he?
Oh, I'm afraid not. Benny Bell passed away last year at 90, and he lived a long and very colorful life.
In fact, Benny Bell, you may not be aware of this, he actually did a few public access TV specials, so to speak, in New York. In fact, I actually did a walk-on one of his shows. Again, I didn't look like this. And yeah, so he was actually in public access TV a few times. But but he came up with such famous hits as like Ian Mikey and Shaving Cream, which you made famous once again.
Yes, I have a sad story to tell you. It may hurt your feelings a bit. Last night when I went into my bathroom, I stepped in a big pile of
shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen.
Benny Bell wrote that in 1946. At that time, you could not have played that on radio and expect to keep your job and your license. That was considered to be at least softcore pornography because it was suggestive of a dirty word. But nowadays we've relaxed. The bar has been lowered, so to speak, and by Howard Stern and people of his ilk, among others. So shaving cream just sounds kind of almost innocent today, but still amusing. And I make up new verses when I do public performances.
It's one of those songs that grows with time.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, Benny Bell was a treasure. I did quite a few shows with him in New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and he was a treasure. Was Tiny Tim on that particular show, too, that you saw?
No, he was. This is essentially a one-man show in public access. I mean, he sat there with his top hat with a train that ran around it.
I was wondering about that Bottom Line show, because I know he was with me once at the Bottom Line.
Not that one I went to. This was like 1987.
Tiny Tim, who's also left us, was another treasure. A New Yorker for many years, but wound up his career in my hometown of Minneapolis.
Oh, you're from Minneapolis.
Tiny Tim gave his last performance in the Women's Club Auditorium in Minneapolis, which is where I learned to do the waltz, the foxtrot, and the Lindy Hop as a junior high school kid.
But you never did the bunny hop.
Yes, we did, yes. Not at the Women's Club Auditorium. They were traditionalists there. But the bunny hop, which was new at the time in the 50s, we did that at high school all the time. No high school dance was complete without the bunny hop.
Tell me, were there any proliferation of novelty tunes involving bunnies?
Yeah, there's You Wanna Buy a Bunny that Spike Jones did. And, of course, everybody knows Here Comes Peter Cottontail.
Well, I thought that was more considered a kiddie record than a novelty record.
Well, the definition of a novelty record is pretty broad. I mean, something like, more recently, Barbie Girl would certainly be considered, or even Sex and Candy by Marcy Playground, which is not a funny ha-ha song, but certainly in the radio biz it was considered to be a novelty record. So the novelty is anything that is kind of new and different. So that's a very broad term. In fact, it doesn't really have a whole lot of meaning with many of the things that I play, like Frank Zappa. I do not. He did a lot of funny stuff, but the term novelty artist does not fit Frank Zappa at all well. So I tend to like to use the term novelty record just for those hits from the era of the 45 RPM single from, maybe The Thing by Phil Harris up through They're Coming to Take Me Away, Hello Mudda, Hello Fada, and probably the last really big novelty 45 was The Streak by Ray Stevens in 1974. So those I consider novelties.
Oh, so what do you call whatever comes after that now?
Funny music.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, on that note, Dr. Demento, thank you so much for spending a moment with us here.
Okay, Rabbit, don't forget to stay deep.